Alright, so
Lordy.
So currently, we're on our way to the hair salon, but I actually wanted Mom...
It's called a barber.
Well, look, I wanted Mom to tell everyone the story about her pet goat once. So...
I did, I had a pet goat.
Well, I want you to tell everyone...
Was it a goat or was it a lamb?
What?
That's bright! It's like I see the light.
I'm trying to let people see you.
Walk towards the light.
Okay,
Don't
so...
go to the light.
Just tell everyone the story about the time about your pet goat.
I don't know, the light's like freaking me out. Put the light down.
Fine, I'm gonna dim it.
You didn't dim shit. Thank you. Okay. So we were in Greece, and we used to go to Greece. We used to go to the farm. Like, we lived in Greece when I was younger, and we used to go to the farm every single summer. So when school lets out, because their school lets out like very early. I don't remember when, but it did. We'd head off to Greece, and then we'd come back like just days before school was supposed to start again. Come on, chop chop, go faster. Sorry, I'm also trying to drive at the same time. So we each had, it was me, my brother, and my cousin, and we each had a goat. Or was it a lamb? I don't know. Anyways, whatever. It was one of it.
It was a goat, you said.
And I loved my goat. Oh my god. I named my goat Maria. I don't know why, but that's what I named my goat, Maria. And I would go say hi to my goat every morning when I woke up, and I would spend time with it during the day, and then I would go say bye to it. Well, not bye, but good night. When I'd go right before I'd go to bed. And right before, no, it was the day that we were going to leave the farm to go back to the city, because obviously, we had to go back because school was going to start and everything. My uncle had prepared this feast for us, kind of like a going away feast. So that afternoon, I was trying to find my goat so I can say goodbye to my goat, because I wasn't going to see my goat again until the following summer, because we only went to the farm during the summer. And I couldn't find my goat anywhere, and I was like so upset. I thought my goat had run away. I thought to myself, what, my goat doesn't like me? Like, I took good care of my goat, and my cousin and I were like, looked and looked everywhere. Anyways, I couldn't find my goat. So then we went to sit down for dinner, and I told my uncle, I said, I can't find my goat. I think my goat ran away. And my uncle's like, no, your goat didn't run away. And I'm like, then where's my goat? He's like, on your plate. And I looked at him and I was like, what? And he's like, your goat is separate. He had killed my goat. That was the big feast. He killed my goat, because on the farm, that's what they did. They killed, the animals, like the chickens and the pigs and, apparently my goat. And that's how we would eat. We wouldn't go to the grocery store and buy like a piece of meat or something. And I cried. Oh my God, my cousin and I cried and cried and cried. And my uncle, I remember, was calling us stupid because we didn't want to eat my goat. So yeah, my goat was something.
Why did he kill your goat, though?
Apparently, because mine was the youngest one, and apparently the youngest, like the ones that are smaller, have like the more tender meat. Kind of wish it was a big goat, but it wasn't.
Now,
I thought it was rude and disrespectful.
I'm gonna ask you questions that some of my friends have been asking for me to ask you. So, I'm only gonna give you 10 questions, okay? Because the video cannot be that long.
Oh, excuse me, I'm tired.
But anyways, first question came from one of my friends at Heritage. They wanted to know,
Oh, bump.
They wanted to know a very simple question. Where were you exactly born?
Canada, Montreal. Don't ask me what hospital, I don't really know. It was back in the 70s. But I was born here in Canada. But I left when I was 5 years old. So I just finished kindergarten, and we moved to Greece. And we stayed there until, I think, I came back my last year of elementary school. So a good 5-6 years we stayed there. Jingle bells, jingle.
Hey! That's copyrighted.
Sorry.
Next question came from
There's a cone in the middle of the road.
a good friend of mine, another friend.
Try not to hit the cone, Lisa. Thank you.
The other question was, why did you move to South Carolina?
Because that's where my dad lived.
Oh, well, that was the most simplest question, I guess.
Yeah. And I've always wanted to live near the beach.
Okay, well, we are almost in the hair salon, so I'm gonna have to just ask you one more question and save it for the
We're not
another
almost
video.
in the hair salon.
Then I'll ask you 3 more.
Oh, maybe not 3. Okay, go.
This person, once again, another friend of mine, he wanted to know, what is your favorite food and why?
Why I can't say. I will say though that my favorite food is moussaka. Moussaka is this dish, a Greek dish, and what it is okay, how is it? Is it the potatoes, then the eggplants, and then the minced meat, and then the cream, or is it the eggplants, potatoes, minced meat, and cream? Anyways, it's something. It's like lasagna, but it's not made with like noodles. It's made with potatoes, eggplant, minced meat, well, whatever, like meat sauce there, and cream. And I love it. Oh my God, I can eat that all day long. But nobody makes it for me. I don't know how to make it myself. My mom makes it, but she doesn't make it anymore because she is 82 years old, and this just takes like all day to make.
This was actually another good question. This friend of mine wanted to know, what is your dream car?
Well, I would have to say a Mustang. But I'm 50 years old now, so I ain't gonna drive a Mustang now.
You could.
Too old for that, but a
Wait.
Mustang.
You're never too old to drive a Mustang.
Next question. I love this game. This is fun. Go.
Alright. Next question is, I'm gonna ask you 2 more because we're almost there. Next question is, what is your biggest fear?
Oh, heights. I hate heights. Hate it. That's why whenever Uncle Pat forces me to go on a roller coaster, I freak out.
We'll have to save that for another video one day.
No.
Okay, so this is the last question. This is a very good one because a few of my friends wanted to know this one. A few of them wanted to know, what was the most traumatizing moment of your life as a child?
As a child, I have to say,
Because there are a lot of kids who go through traumatizing moments, including, like, I think almost any
I have to
kid.
say when they were burying my grandfather.
What?
When they buried my grandfather, I was at the funeral. And usually, you don't take children that young. I mean, some people do, some people don't. I personally wouldn't take mine if my kids were that young. But I was at the funeral, and I can still remember, even though now I'm 50, I still remember my dad. What? My dad holding his mom, my grandmother, and his sister, and there are 3 of them are hugging. And back then, like now, when somebody dies and they put the casket in the ground, they lower it with this like machine. But back then, obviously, we didn't have that machine, so they lowered it with like big like ropes and stuff. And I still remember that. I still remember them lowering the casket in the ground with those like big ropes. So that actually has stuck with me. My God. I'm 50 and I can still remember that like it was yesterday.
So that was the most traumatizing moment of your life.
That, and when I had to tell my dad, your papu, that his brother had died. That was a bad moment too.
I'm gonna have to cut the parts out where you say the D word.
What did I say?
Die.
Oh.
Because I don't think we're allowed to say that.
Was it?
But wait, what? You had to tell...
Yes, everybody was calling the house. My Aunt Betty had called. My Uncle Spiro had called. Like a whole bunch of people were calling the house. And everybody wanted to speak to my dad. And I kept telling Mom, he's not here. And they're like, okay, we'll call back. Well, finally, in the end, it was getting on my nerves. And it was my Tia Betty that had called me, the last one that called, and said, I want to talk to your dad. I'm like, okay, he's not here. I'm like, what's going on? I know something's going on because all of you are calling. None of you call as many times in a day. And she's like, well, okay. She goes, I'll tell you.
They pass away.
Yeah. She goes, your uncle in Florida passed away. She goes, you have to tell your dad. And I was like, what?
Oh wait, I just realized you can't say die.
And I told her, I'm like, what? She goes, your uncle in Florida passed away. You need to tell your dad. And I'm like, what? So then, of course, I had to tell Pat, my dad.
And how did he react?
Oh, he fell. He walked in. That's another thing I'll never forget. He walked in from the side door. He walked in first. Yaya was in back of it. And I had been crying. And I just couldn't. I didn't know what to do. And I just told him right there. I said, your brother has passed. And he looked at me. He's like, what? I said, your brother has passed. And he just fell down to the ground. That was a bad day. I've had a lot of bad days.
Shit. Well, that's it, everyone. I guess.
I was there when my favorite aunt passed away, too. That was another bad day.
Fuck me. The fuck, man.
And I was there when Papa died. Oh, well. I'm good.